Missions Pulse. Know God's heart, join his mission.
You're teaching international students who are from Guatemala, a country where you were born.
Yeah.
Is this something that anybody could do? I mean, are you specifically tailored because you were born in Guatemala that you now can do this? Or I guess what I'm asking is, do other people have a role they can play in the Great Commission? What can they do, simple steps to be a part of God's epic mandate, like what you're doing, and is so natural and normal to you?
Well, I think anyone can teach English.
But
I keep
is that
trying
true,
to.
really?
Yeah, I really do.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, if you can speak English, you can teach English. People think that, oh, I'm not a teacher, or I don't want to be up in front of people. But really, if you've got a heart for people, you want them to gain the skills that would allow them, especially in America where they come without knowing anything, and they can be tripped up, they can be tricked even. But also when I came here 3 years ago, we were living here for a year, I was able to have the joy of teaching English to Hill Tribe women and girls at New Life Center Foundation.
Here in Chiang Mai.
Here in Chiang Mai, yeah, it was great. It was just a phenomenal experience. It was very meaningful for me because I had been studying 10 years ago after reading Half the Sky by Nicholas Kristof and Cheryl Wu Dunn about the problem with human trafficking.
Yeah.
And got into a group and began learning more and more about that. And so when I was able to actually marry these two keen interests of teaching ESL, which I had gotten my certificate in, and also victims of human trafficking, it was very meaningful.
Yes.
So some people have said to me, why would they need to learn English? They're living in Thailand. Well, these Hill Tribe girls are the ones that can elevate themselves by their knowledge of English. They can get themselves out of jobs of just menial labor.
Or worse.
Or worse, yes. 60% of the girls were at risk of being trafficked.
I see.
40% of the girls were actually rescued from being trafficked. Not necessarily sex trafficking, but also, forced labor.
Yeah.
But if they have the cachet of some English ability, it will actually lift them out of those situations. And ironically, when I was teaching them, I was also using a curriculum that I had developed along with a colleague of mine, how to, 12 different things. And one of the things that we were teaching is how to compliment politely. I thought, this is not going to really reach them where they're at. But as I was teaching them, I was saying, in just so you know, in some situations, people will compliment you, and if it's a man complimenting you on your looks, it's never appropriate. They looked shocked, like I'd just thrown water in their faces, and they go, "We get that all the time." And I said, "Really?" They go, "Yeah." I said, "Who from?" Because I'm thinking they're here at this residence, they're just, in this nice little cocoon of protection. They said, and these were some of the staff women. Well, sometimes it's other non-governmental people who come, possible people who are donors to our organization, and they will look right at us and say, "Oh, you're a beautiful young woman," and we're just feeling so awkward. I go, "Wow, I guess you really needed me to come, because let me just tell you, that is never appropriate."
Yeah.
And I was thinking back, I thought, even in the West, it's never appropriate for a man who's not related to you to tell you you're beautiful, to compliment you on your looks. I said, if they compliment you on your skills, like your computer skills, your artistic skills, your brain, that's fine. But no, never compliment you on your body or your face. They go, "What are we supposed to say?" I said, you just look away. You let them know that that's not appropriate. You don't smile and say thank you, because that'll just feed that. They go, "Well, we've just felt so awkward." I said, you look away. And they go, "What if they persist?" I said, then you get up and walk out of the room and find someone who can come back and tell them what's what. But I thought to myself, wow, I'm actually empowering these women
Yes.
to speak up for themselves,
Yeah.
to know what's appropriate, what isn't appropriate, and be able to not take that anymore. And I thought, wow.
And all that because of, I think, a point you just made a second ago. How are you able to marry something that's totally natural to you, a passion and an interest, English as a second language, and rescue of those who are being trafficked? I think that's what I would like to push people in the direction of, that no longer is it these days of, you take looking back over history, C.T. Studd, he was this amazing, he was like Tim Tebow of that day and age, and he left all of his status as a baller in England and gave it all up to be a missionary in China. Today's world has changed. It's so globalized that I think God is able to poise people in this position to use their giftedness or their passion or their interest or intrigues for the advancement of the gospel. The story you just shared seems to me that's what it is.
Yeah.
Your interest in language. This full circle of how God shaped you and formed you on the mission field, and then you're impacting people who you would never thought you would be able to have a place in their life.
Missions Pulse. Know God's heart, join His mission. This podcast is powered by Within Reach Global. Subscribe, watch, and listen on YouTube today. Visit missionspulse.com.